Imagine this. You walk into an art gallery. Instead of paintings on the wall, you find an empty room, a table, some chairs, and a group of strangers. A staff member approaches you. They don't hand you a guidebook. Instead, they say softly, you set the rules. We will be back in an hour. Do you feel excited or anxious? Is this the beginning of liberation or the start of a social experiment? This is the powerful force of participatory art. It invites us to transform from passive viewers into active agents, co-authors, even the artwork itself. For decades, it has been held as the most democratic, most radical art form, the hero that shattered the ivory tower of art. But in part 1 today, I want to pose a central paradox. Could this seemingly sincere invitation itself be an elaborate trap? When creating together becomes a slogan, might we be losing our critical distance, unwittingly stepping into an artificial hell, meticulously constructed from good intentions and ideals? To understand this trap, we must see the two kinds of blissful heaven that participatory art has promised us. The first, the first is the relational heaven. In the 1990s, French curator proposed relational aesthetics. He argued that in a hyper-consumerist society of rampant individualism, art's task was to create temporary, micro-utopias, spaces for genuine human encounter, dialogue, and sharing of a meal. The artwork is no longer an object, but a framework for an encounter. Here, art value lies in the quality of human relations it catalyzes. Its aesthetic resides in the tensions and intimacies between people. The second is political heaven. This lineage is more radical, stemming from the philosophy of Jacques Rancière. Rancière says the essence of politics is the redistribution of the sensible, deciding who is seen, heard, and considered capable of speech. First, participatory art becomes a political rehearsal. It makes the voices of the marginalized the material of the work, lets the silent speak, and renders the invisible visible. Art here is a pre-enactment of an egalitarian world. It sounds utterly beautiful, right? But the problem lies precisely here. When art is too eager to become heaven, it risks glossing over the complexity and griminess of the real world. The shadow of heaven. Critical theory intervals. The British art historian Claire Bishop, in her incisively titled book Artificial Health, Participatory Art and the Politics of Spectatorship, dropped a critical bombshell. She asks, what are our criteria for judging this kind of art? If the criteria are merely was the process harmonious or were the intentions good, then we risk becoming moral judges, not art critics. A community beautification project might be pleasant and well-meaning, but is it good art? Bishop points out that this communitarian standard leads art to avoid conflict, suppress dissent, presenting only a false image of warm solidarity. This becomes the first hell, the hell of enforced harmony. The deeper problem lies in the act of invitation itself. When an artist invites you, do power relations truly vanish? No, they just become invisible. The artist remains the one who sets the framework, decides the rules, and ultimately edits the presentation. The participant, seemingly free, is actually moving within the game rules designed by the artist. This creates the second hell, the hell of invisible manipulation. We feel we have choices, but the options were predetermined long ago. Philosopher Bruno Latour's actor network theory reminds us that any social situation is a network woven from human and non-human actors, like objects, roles, space. In participatory art, this network is highly designed by the artist. Your free participation might just be the most vivid part of a pre-written script. So we found ourselves in a dilemma. On one hand, we yearn for art to transcend decoration and connect with real life and society. On the other, when art tries to directly create social relations, it risks simplifying, beautifying, or even manipulating them. Bishop is not calling for the dismissal of participatory art. She proposed a more rigorous standard. We should judge it by its aesthetics, strength, and dialectical complexity. Great participatory arts should not just offer a feel-good experience. It should act like a prism, reflecting the full spectrum of social relations, including their power dynamics, awkwardness, contradictions, and unresolved conflicts. In Part 2, we will enter the sides of these artificial hells. We will see how 4 artists actively construct participatory situations filled with friction, discomfort, and even risk. They don't offer the illusion of heaven. Instead, they build instructive hells, forcing us to confront the ethical dilemmas behind participation. Concerning labor exploitation performatively and the grand participatory free tree we are already trapped in within the digital age. Be sure to subscribe. In our next part, we will step into these thought-provoking sites together.